the announcement came rather quick. When did the contact begin with Mike, and when did it get really serious?
Oh, I went down to Key West to visit with Mike Leach in mid-November, hoping, and I told him that our current coach would finish strong and that we could keep going in that direction, but I felt that I had to have a plan in place in the event that it didn't. So I actually had a chance to visit with him in person.
So when did he then, or when did it become serious enough to where you offered it to him then?
Well, he had an interest, and we continued to have a dialogue a bit, but primarily between his agent and a consultant that I had hired. The interest grew and the interest grew, and we started to talk numbers, and then officially offered him the job yesterday.
So you offered him the job yesterday, and you got. Geez, I just blanked out. Sorry, Bill.
That's all right.
Yeah. So I wanted to ask you the terms of the contract. Can you discuss the terms?
Yeah, it's a 5-year rollover contract. I like to have rollover contracts because of recruiting, and it pays an annual salary of $2,250,000, and it's quite loaded with incentives as well. He'll be compensated in the upper tier of the Pac-12, of which he should be, someone who's got a resume like Mike Leach. But there wasn't a lot of bickering. There was actually none. I threw the numbers out, he accepted them, and we went forward.
What was the competition like for him? Was there a lot of interest for him? Were you competing with others?
There were a lot of schools that wanted Mike Leach, and I'm pleased to say Mike Leach wanted Washington State.
You've been talking about the entire time that you want to make a big statement, you want to create a buzz around campus. So, in your opinion, is this an unprecedented move in Washington State University athletics?
It's a buzzing. The word around the country, ESPN, other sports channels, it's the talk, as well it should be. And the response from our donors has been fabulous. We've got checks coming in for donations and season tickets. The response has been outstanding.
What'd you say to the players?
I met with the players at 4 o'clock and told them that, as always, I've got their best interest, and that I was saddened that they had to go through a transition, but I didn't waste any time in getting them a new coach. And I talked about Mike Leach to them. I think they were quite excited, and I told them, hey, everybody's got a clean slate here. You'll make your name with a new coach and his staff, and to make sure that you take care of your academics in the next couple of weeks, stay out of trouble, and we're going on a great ride.
Is it safe to say, as an athletic director, your expectations, could I say immediate right now?
What's that now?
The expectations, I mean, or impact, I guess I should say. Immediate. Is that what you're saying?
Oh, there's an immediate impact, and it falls in line with what I've said 18 months ago when I came here, is I want to get this program in a position to compete for championships and to do it consistently. And I think we made a big step in that direction today.
How much did the TV contract mean to being able to hire?
I couldn't have done it without the new television revenue. We couldn't be renovating Martin Stadium. We couldn't have made a hire like this. Most importantly, that equal revenue sharing, that our piece of the pie is the same as everyone else's, enables us to invest in facilities, in salaries, in the infrastructure of the department. We have to have our donors step up and cover the cost of scholarships, so that we can continue to be moving in this direction and taking Washington State to where I feel its rightful place.
I guess the circumstances he left Texas Tech, how much did that come into consideration?
We talked a little bit about that. I was comfortable with it. I don't want to speak for him. He'll have his opportunity to do that next week. But this is a fine man, very well educated, very smart, caring, and just a brilliant football mind. And I'm looking forward to some great days ahead.
Can you talk about his personality as a football coach and what attracted you to that?
I read his book, and I'd encourage Cougar fans to read his book. It's quite good, and it talks a lot of about his background and how he chose coaching, and the early years when he was making $3,000 a year just to get into the profession, and how he moved on and eventually through the smaller colleges, eventually got to Kentucky and led the nation in total offense and passing offense, and then as offensive coordinator at Oklahoma for Bob Stoops. He paid his dues, and I like coaches that have paid their dues, and interesting person, and I was intrigued with him. The 3.5 hours I spent with Mike Leach seemed like 20 minutes. And we weren't just talking all about football. Somebody who's raised in Cody, Wyoming, and an athletic director who was raised in Edwall, Washington. We were talking about snow drifts and tobogganing and other things. It wasn't just football. Interesting individual and a great football coach.